Welcome to another episode of A Talk of Opportunity. Today, with me, Andrew,
Hi.
and we're going to talk about classes and we're going to rank them because that's what we do on the internet, right? We do rank
Yeah.
things.
Number 12 is gonna blow your fucking mind.
Yeah. Hashtag you won't believe what's number one.
I'm not telling.
Me neither. All right.
Well,
Let's roll that music.
we'll give you a guess on who's the bottom of the list, though.
Andrew.
Jose.
So, there are, 13 classes in total in the book?
13. No. There's 12 classes in the book, and the artificer is the baker's dozen to this.
Right. Oh, wait. Before we get started, let's talk about beer. What are you drinking today, Andrew?
I'm drinking. The beer of choice I have today is Milo's no-calorie sweetener iced tea.
That's not a beer, Andrew.
No. Oh, it's not. I didn't have any beer.
You're a disappointment. But that's okay, because I do have a beer, and I'll tell you everything about it.
Wait. Are we gonna do the thing where I guess what it is by you opening it, or like you scratch the label or some crap like that?
Here you go. You ready? Pay attention.
Okay.
I can only do it once. You hear that? It was actually very quiet. So
yeah, I was about to say all I heard was like a little like.
So can you tell what beer I'm drinking?
I'm gonna go with a Kona longboard.
It's close.
Is it?
No, not even.
No.
Not even a little. It's say if I pronounce this right, it's a Hoegaarden Belgian wheat beer.
Oh, the Hoegaarden.
Yeah, you know that one.
That's a perfectly solid beer. I like that one.
Oh, have you had it before?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the label. I'm like, oh, this is pretty. But then I saw the back, and it tells me how to pour it. I have to open it. Step 1, chill. Step 2, pour 2/3 of it. All right, here we go.
Now hold on. Now the first step, it's not for the content. It's for you.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's step 1. Be cool, man.
So I pour 2/3. Step 3, swirl the bottle. All right. Swirl it, and tap it off. Ooh, pretty. My glasses are too tall though. Bottle. This one is 4.1 alcohol percent alcohol.
11.2.
Woo! This is gonna be a hell of an episode.
Welcome to a talk of opportunity, where today we're trying triple box.
Holy crap! That's a great beer. First time I've had it.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. Andrew, I wish you were drinking with me, but you're not.
I know. I'm drinking with you in spirit.
600 years ago in Belgian village, Hoegaarden. Damn. Since 1445. Look at that. History. I'm drinking history right now.
Do you want to know a fun fact as to why the monks were allowed to brew beer?
No. I mean, yes.
Well, okay, then fine. Fuck you. Let's get on with
the show. My brain processed that as like, do you know why?
Hey, do you want to know? No, Andrew, that's dumb. Let's go.
So why were the monks allowed to brew beer?
Okay, so it's the popular story is, don't quote me on this.
Quoting you.
The popular story is that when they were they needed something to like drink while they're fasting. I think it was during Lent, I want to say. So they came up with this beer that was like really like syrupy and like thick, and it had like a lot of nutrients in it.
Yeah.
And I want to say that's the Doppelbock. Anyways, So naturally, because they were monks, they're like, okay, we had to send a cask to the Pope to make sure that it's not like something that the idea was that you can't enjoy anything. You have to just like survive, right?
Right.
You know, because Catholic suffering.
Yes, I was raised Catholic. You know,
Anybody
that's why we
knows what I'm talking about.
That's why we go to mass. We stand and sit down and stand again and sit down and stand again and sit down and then kneel.
That's actually not too well. The kneel part. That's actually not too far from being a Southern Baptist. Anyways, so they had to send it out to the Pope to make sure it's like, hey, you guys aren't getting drunk on this. You're not having a good time and sneaking in underneath me. But they, from what I've heard, they like paid off the guy that had to bring the cask to take the long way there. Mm-hmm. So by the time it got there, the beer turned sour. So then, so that way, when the Pope like drank from the cask, he's like, "Ew, oh, gross! This is nasty." Yeah, they can drink all they want. I don't care. But little did he know that those Belgians were making fresh casks of Doppelbock.
Hell yeah!
It's a beautiful thing.
History, am I right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
So, Andrew, now let's get to the list. What everybody's been waiting for. Are you ready for this?
I thought we were going to talk about true crime.
No, we're not talking about... Andrew, we're never talking about true crime in this show.
Damn it.
Stop that shit. All right. Well, so here, how do you want to do this? Like, let's we obviously we haven't planned anything. Because we never do. Do you just want to go down your list and then I go down my list, or we just go my number 13, and so forth?
I think we should do it like that. Like you say what your number 13 is, I'll say what my number 13 is, and then we'll climb this ladder together.
All right. So drum roll, everybody. I'm gonna put music of a drum roll.
I'm about to say edit a drum roll.
What you guys never expected. Number 13. Everybody's least favorite. Nobody saw this coming in any list anywhere on the internet.
Literally bottom of the barrel. Couldn't get worse than this.
Nobody has ever even put this on a list on the internet. We are the first ones.
Nope, totally not a meme.
We're here bringing it hot, fresh takes for you guys.
Hot and fresh, get them.
Number 13. Here goes. We're ready. 3, 2, 1. The
Clerics.
Ranger. Wait, what? Damn it, Andrew.
Clerics suck.
Have you ever played one before? It fucking sucks, man. You're like a religious person. Terrible.
Man, religion's dumb. That was my justification. Anyway.
All right. So you're number 13.
Yeah, the player's handbook ranger.
Yeah, the original printed one.
Yeah, I have to make the specification that it is the PHB ranger. So.
All right. Yeah. So, why, Andrew? Why is it everybody's least favorite class? At least until wizards actually had to go out and fix it.
Well, hold on. Don't ruin the narrative now, okay?
But that's what I do best.
So when I was taking notes on this, I wrote down that Rangers are by no means a bad class. I don't
trash.
I don't think in 5e there is a quote unquote bad class where it's like people like just don't play that class. Don't even touch it. You know, there's too much going on in D&D to like stop it at that granular of a level. Anyways, but the thing about it is that it's like whatever they do, there's a class that could do it better.
Yeah,
you know, like they're a fighter is a way better melee class than a ranger is,
and even ranged class too. So
yeah, and well, you threw me off my group. Anyways, that's fine. No, but yeah, no, a fighter can do anything a ranger can do in combat, but way better, in my opinion. Even in terms of like spells, Eldritch Knight subclass.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing that the Ranger has going for it is that it's really good for exploration, but it's really good.
And even that has a big asterisk on it.
Yeah, because exploration is solely dependent on your DM.
Yeah.
Like I am personally not huge on exploration when it comes to like going through a forest because
it's also the thing that as a ranger or the original ranger, your favorite terrain is forest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. So you talk to your DM, forest, blah 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 blah, and then right now, for example, we're about to go into a dungeon in what's it called in Curse Strut. So what happens then?
Yeah,
so like that's it. You're just good at forest. If you're outside of forest, you're just so, yeah.
And it's one of the things like I get that it's good for getting the group from point A to point B, but it's unless the name of the game is survival, like there's a lot of the stuff that Rangers has that kind of falls by the wayside. Like being able to like land stride and stuff like that. It just I don't know. And then it does have spells, but its spells are not that great. I mean, it's more like just kind of fill in the gaps. But like I said, an Eldritch Knight, in terms of offensive possibilities, an Eldritch Knight can do a lot more than a Ranger can. The biggest thing, like the biggest crime that is the PHB Ranger is the fact that you have an animal companion and it does not level up with you.
Dude, that was so painful to see happen.
Like, which is like, look at the text. It says it has to have a challenge rating of a quarter or lower, which means any enemy you fight where the party is over level 2, it's going to die like immediately.
Yeah, and then it becomes a burden to the player and the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just there. And sadly, when we played Tomb of Annihilation, our Ranger had a. Wait, am I thinking the wrong? We had a Ranger. Heather was a Ranger, wasn't she?
Yeah. She had murder mittens.
Yeah, murder mittens.
And we just kind of forgot murder mittens was there
towards the end because everybody was like level 9, and poor murder mittens was just like, "Hi." Every time she would attack with it, it would like do nothing, and she was more worried about keeping murder mittens alive than actually making it do anything in battle.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If your beast dies, you have to obtain a new companion by spending 8 hours magically bonding with a beast that isn't hostile to you. So it's like, it's essentially, here, take care of this baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the escort mission called the class,
Now, if I were to play a Ranger from the player's handbook, I wouldn't, first of all. But if I had to, like, there's a gun to my head, I would definitely go with, like, the Hunter archetype. It's just, personally, I just think it's a lot better, but even then, that's just because you don't have the huge ball and chain that is the Beastmaster.
Yeah. But we can't go into subclasses. That's gonna be another episode.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, if I had to pick. But this is one of the only classes where if someone's like, "Hey, well, I want to play a Ranger," which Teresa always does. That's her favorite class. She likes Rangers because she likes to have a pet.
And to be fair, that's a very big appeal from a lot of people that are first comers to D&D, and having a cool pet and like using bow and arrow and being all skillful and dexterous and all that. It's very appealing. So when somebody that's new to D&D tells me that they want to play Ranger, I always cringe and I'm like, just use the updated version. Like, make sure you don't do the PHP.
And it
does sound cool.
I'm sorry.
It does sound cool. Have a cool pet.
Yeah, a Ranger by definition is cool. It's a hunter stalking the forest, using his keen knowledge of nature and stuff like that to hunt down prey and he's really good at fighting goblins or something like that because he has a vendetta against them.
Right.
But it's just
mechanically, it's just
the execution is just right out the gate. Ugh. And this is one of the things where I'm like, please use the Unearthed Arcana, like because it's not really like a suggestion. It's legitimately a patch. It's patch notes,
Pretty much, yeah.
Because the Unearthed Arcana one, like, yeah, the Beastmaster one and the UA Ranger loses its extra attack, but then the beasts get to level up with the Ranger, making them not useless.
Right. Yeah.
And then there were some further Unearthed Arcana where it's like you just get Hunter's Mark. Like you don't have to worry about concentration. You just get it. And I'm like, well, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I feel it kind of makes sense because you're a freaking hunter. Like that's kind of like what you do.
If you're not using Hunter's Mark as a ranger, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's probably their best spell.
Exactly. Yeah, for reals. Right. So moving to number 12. Drum roll, please. I'm gonna leave that sound in there.
Yeah, please don't.
Right. So number 12 for Andrew and myself. In 3, 2, 1. The Druid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but for me, the Druid, very cool thematically, and a lot of again, I'm basing my personal list on like what I've seen, what I've experienced. You can change into animals. That's it.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like whenever I see it, a druid is a jack of all trades, but a master of none.
Yeah.
Like it is. If you don't have, like, let's just say you're on a normal campaign, sword and board campaign, and you have a bard, a rogue, a wizard, and a druid. Okay, where you're like, well, crap, we need a tank. Well, the druid can turn into like a brown bear or a dire wolf and kind of be the tank there.
Right.
And or you don't have the wizard. Well, the druid can kind of perform magic, or you don't have a cleric. You don't have a cleric. Why the fuck don't you have a cleric? But you don't have a cleric.
That's your first mistake. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. First of all, just stop the campaign.
Find another player, a real gamer who will put a cleric in there.
So it's one of those things that, like, they can do a little bit of everything, but they're not the best at anything at all, And
it's probably like the weakest, in my opinion, the weakest of all the jacks. Because there's a couple of jack of all trades in here.
Yeah.
And I think this one specifically it falls a little bit into the druid. The ranger. Very situational moments that they shine in the very specific bits, but not much after that. Like, okay, you can take some hits, but not really. You can do some spells, but not really. You can hit sort of hard, but not really. It's very cool thematically. It can lead to a lot of really cool player shenanigans, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. Again, just because it's at the bottom of the barrel doesn't mean that it's a bad class for us. It just means that it's because all these classes are good. It's just our least favorite.
I do understand what you're talking about. There is a lot of very niche things about the druid that, like, might not ever come up in a campaign.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, the druidic language. Like, who in the actual fuck uses druidic?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like there was, and this is, it's actually funny I should mention that. There was a small thing in Curse of Strahd that involved the druidic language, but even then it was not like the key to a puzzle. It was honestly just like a little secret, like, ooh, I know druidic, so I get some payoff for this. Like,
congratulations, you're not completely useless.
yeah. And just to pull back the curtain a bit, because and I don't care if people in our group hear this part, because but for that part, I was like going over the druid spell lists because they're like, oh, they have this many spells, they have like this many first and second level spells and whatnot. And I'm looking through the druid spell list. I'm like, these guys got fucking nothing I could throw at the party that will like honestly do anything. Like,
yeah.
And it's just one of those things. It's like if you're a druid and you're not taking the Circle of the Moon subclass, like it is such a weak spellcaster by comparison.
I agree 100%. And that I think actually all the druids have, I think they all have been Circle of the Moon.
Well, yeah, because at level 2 you can turn into a direwolf, which at level 2 is a game changer.
Yeah.
Like that is awesome. And then while you're in wild shape, you can wait, hold on. Is that a circle thing, or is that just an actual feature?
Circle of the Moon?
No. Oh no, never mind. That's just a druid feature. You can cast spells while you're in a wild shape. But then also you can get like magic attacks at level 6 through your wild shape and stuff like that. So it's just like, yeah, Circle of the Land, you get all these like spells and stuff like that, but a lot of these spells are very like situational, very, I don't know, like it's a lot of utility stuff. I mean, you do get some like combat spells and whatnot, but it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like if you're gonna play as a druid, you have to lock down that wild shape ability.
Yeah, that's gonna be your main main move, really.
Yeah, and that's going to be like you have to be really creative with it. Like, oh, I want to pass by undetected through these guards. Okay, I'm going to turn into a fly or something like that.
Right, right. Like it doesn't have to always be about I'm going to turn into a bear for combat, but like just exploration itself can be very useful if you choose the right animal.
Yeah, and that's all within the DM's like legislation, like right. If he wants to allow that kind of stuff, which I mean, if I had a druid in my group, I would allow for stuff like that. I'm not going to be, like a dickhead and be like, nope, sorry,
Yeah, same.
It's just one of those things. It's like I've actually tried to make some adventures where like if you were going to be a magic class, it would have to be a druid because I feel like it's going to go unappreciated, but I don't know. Oh, also playing level 1 as a druid must be misery.
Well, to be fair, playing level 1 has many spellcasters, but yes, druid is probably one of the most miserable ones.
That's one of those things. Like if that'd be one of the things where I'd be like, can we start at level 2, please?
Can we start at level 3 just so I can already pick my shit, please?
Yeah, like come on.
Yeah. All right. So number 11. And I'm gonna go with mine first.
Okay.
The bard.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I actually put the bard a bit higher than you did. My number. Well, hold on. Let's hear what you have to say about the bard and why you hate it so much.
I don't hate it. It's just with the recent things I've played and recent things I've like managed to like experience recently. I said recently once too many times. It moved other classes up higher, so it pushed the bard down a little bit. But I don't know, man. Bards for me, they can be pretty cool, but if it's not role playing heavy, it might suffer a bit in the fun department. At least until you get to a couple higher levels and you start to get some of those more powerful spells. Like what's the one that's it's a freaking dome that appears on top of you and essentially protects you from everything.
It's like Orb of Invulnerability or something like that.
Yeah, it like I think I told you about this, but like the party was in a hold of fire giants, and the mechanism of the area was if they were detected, the heat will start rising until essentially they die. It turned into a volcano. And Alex, he was playing a bard at the time. He was just like, nope, I'm gonna use this. And I read the spell, and it kept everything unsaid of the spell. It kept it at a cool 75. It didn't allow projectiles to go in, but it allowed projectiles to go out. But it was like a very high level spell for them. Very useful, very cool. But it's more of like a role playing class, and that's why I think I put it at the bottom for me mainly, because for me the two least favorite classes already happened, and from here on it just gets better.
Are you talking about Leomund's tiny hut?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I was just trying to nail down exactly which spell you were talking about. So, I'm actually going to withhold on defending the bard because I feel like I can do that with my justification as to why they're at where yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, let's hold on that. But yeah, no, for just because I personally don't have any appeal to playing them. That's why they're so low. It's not a class I look at. I'm like, oh man, I really want to play that next adventure.
I do. Yeah, I'm actually right there with you. Like, I know that I went on and on about like the rock star bard character that I originally came up with for Avernus, but that was mainly just because I wanted a guy that played rock music.
Like, yeah,
you know,
the guitar player from Fury Road.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, the bard is definitely not on the top.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's me. I don't have anything deeper than that, mainly because, like I told you, I like all the classes from here on out have become like up there for me. So it was really hard for me to put it down here. How about you? What's your 11th?
My 11th is the Warlock.
You're wrong. The Warlock has been proven to be the best class ever made. You, sir, are wrong, and I need you to move it up a list.
Okay, bye. I'm leaving now.
I won this argument, so the Warlock is actually number 1 for me. No. Mine is not that.
Internet rules. The guy stopped talking, therefore I win. No. Okay, so here's my justification for putting the Warlock at number 11. So the reason why I did that was not because I don't think, again, no such thing as a bad class in 5e. The problem I have with Warlocks is that it's the only class, I would probably say the only class I would definitely not recommend for a beginner.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's one of those things, if you have a friend that hasn't played Dungeons and Dragons at all, and he's like, I want to play a spellcaster, you have to be like, okay, stay away from the Warlock.
Why though? I thought a wizard was more complicated than a warlock.
I don't think a wizard is, because I mean, the most complicated thing about a wizard is trying to determine how many spells you know versus the ones that you have ready. After that, it all kind of falls into place. But the thing about warlocks is that, like, let's just real quickly skim over the warlock class and like kind of quote unquote create a warlock. So to make a warlock, you have to first pick a patron, which we're going by just the ones in the player's handbook: Archfey, Fiend, or Great Old One. Okay, so you got 3 choices there. And then from there, you have to pick out which pact you are with your patron, which is Pact of the Chain, which means you have a familiar; Pact of the Blade, which means that you're more of like a melee spellcaster; or Pact of the Ten, which means that you focus more on spellcasting.
Pact of the Blade sounds so cool.
Pact of the Blade is probably my favorite one. And then from there, you get the expanded lists from the patrons, and then you get the benefits, the class benefits from that.
Right.
And then from there, you get the Eldritch Invocations, which if you look at the beginning of the Warlock page, it tells you how many invocations you know. And so each of these invocations either act as like a class benefit, or they act as a spell in of themselves. and it's just it's a lot of moving parts, and it's like one of those weird like combination puzzles where you have to like kind of figure out which one works best.
Yeah.
And it's and then you have to figure out how your spells work as a warlock, because you can't cast anything higher than a 5th level spell, even at level 20, unless you use your Mystic Arcanum, which you can only use once per long rest. And it's just like, oh my gosh, like that. You have to have notes ready.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. I can.
Yeah.
But Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of people talk shit about Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. What do you mean talking shit? Eldritch Blast is great.
Yeah, Eldritch Blast is. No, I'm talking about people on the internet talking shit
they're
about
wrong,
Eldritch
and
Blast.
they need to get out.
Yeah, you need to leave. Bye. you know where the door's at.
We lost our one subscriber.
Damn it. But the really cool thing about warlocks is that all their spells are cast at the highest level possible.
Yes.
Which means that, yeah, they might only get like 2 or 3 spells per encounter, but those 2 or 3 spells are going to potentially like wipe the enemies, depending. So it's just one of those things that there's just too much going on with a warlock, and it's it's one of those classes that's like, if I'm tired, I don't want to play a warlock. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to use your brain power. I got you. Yeah, no, yeah.
So,
no, and it's funny because that's warlock is actually my number 10.
Really?
Yeah. So it's right above the bard, and it's pretty much for the same reasons. But the one that draws me the most is actually, Pact of the Blade.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
You know me, I like to hit things, and having a ghostly magical weapon by my side, it's pretty bomb.
Yeah, no, warlocks are super cool. I can't take that away from them. But man, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot of moving pieces, but yeah, that and all your spell casting is max level. It's pretty bomb. And for role playing purposes, I mean, you've displayed it with Heather, and that's a lot of opportunity there to something with that character. As a DM and as a player, there's a lot of things to look forward to, and you can get very very involved in your own quote unquote backstory / future story.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that aspect of the warlock.
Yeah, it is definitely one of those classes that it kind of comes with its own package.
I agree.
It already has a story. Mm-hmm. Just
it helps you. You build it as you build your characters.
Mm-hmm. It is really good that they also get all their spells back after a short rest.
Yes.
That is one of those things that's like you might not think it's important, but it really is.
Yep. Because a short rest is a lot easier than finding a good place to sleep for 8 hours.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if for any DMs out there, if your characters or if your players decide to take a long rest in a dungeon, you need to punish that.
Bad.
No, I'm talking like, okay, well, a patrol of stone giants come across you.
Stone giants.
But this is a goblin camp. Yeah, and they hired stone giants for the night.
For that specific night.
Yeah, just for that one.
Oh, man. All right, what's your number 10?
My number, well, we already know what your number 10 is.
Yeah.
My number 10 is the sorcerer.
Okay.
This one actually kind of hurts to talk about because in 3.5, the sorcerer was my favorite class, but it got neutered hard in 5e.
In what way? I don't know much about 3.5.
Well, essentially, from what I can remember, in 3.5, the sorcerer was just essentially like a charisma-based wizard. I'm obviously getting a lot of that wrong. I'm glazing over a lot of details, but just hear me out because I'm basing this off of memory from like 15 years ago. But yeah, no, it's a charisma based wizard, and the thing about the 3.5 spell list for sorcerers was that if you looked in the spell list for those classes, it would legitimately say sorcerer / wizard. They shared the same spell list like throughout. And 5e, they decided to when they were making the spell list, they decided to take the sorcerer spell list take the wizard spell list, throw out a couple of good spells, and then call that the sorcerer spell list and call it a day. And the thing about it is that a sorcerer, it can do cool stuff. Like the draconic origin does give it like resistance to certain damage types. It gives it a better AC at first level, which is really awesome. There's also the wild magic, which to me it seems like a fun idea, but I don't know how that would play out in a long campaign. I would honestly probably be kind of annoyed at it at a certain point.
Yeah, I can see that.
And there is stuff like the like using the sorcerer points to kind of manipulate magic and whatnot, which is neat. You do have to read the fine print though, and using those sorcerer points to create spell slots. But at the end of the day, it just feels like a dollar store version of a wizard.
Yep.
You know,
no,
like
I will have to agree with you 100% of that.
Like it's the whole like sorcerer is a spellcaster and the wizard is the cooler spellcaster.
Yeah. No, and it kills me, man, because when I read, and just so you know, because we're doing this like stair thing, sorcerer is my number 9. But it kills me because every time I read the sorcerers, man, I want to play it so bad. It's like it's just filled with like cool magic, visuals and themes, and I just want to like roll with it. But god damn it, that's it. Because mechanically, it's just, I just see it as like, oh, I gotta spend my coins in the magic machine, and I'm out of magic. But god, like casting spells and being able to like twist them to your own desires and make them do exactly what you want them to do without having to like oh, my friends are in the battlefield, I need to like be careful. Like none of that shit. You can just like do all that stuff. Like if the sorcery points were either a little higher or just done with, I will play a sorcerer just like that, because the theme, the visuals of creating one and like being on the battlefield and being like the cool. Essentially, the sorcerer is the geek, the wizard is the nerd, and like just being like this school magic user that just flows through you. I want to play it so bad, but I think about it and I feel like I'm gonna get bored as I play.
Yeah, it's like it's weirdly like lacking, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why. Like they make it sound so cool and so powerful, and then when you read it mechanically, and you're like, until you get to like level, even though, so the last point, the last sorcery points you get is at level 5, right? Or do you keep getting it?
What do you mean what do you mean sorcery points?
Oh no, you do get you have 20 by level 20. But I don't know, man. Like
the sorcery points match your level.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like for a party that like is always fighting, for example, can you imagine like guys, can we please take a rest all the way until like your level, I don't know, like 7 maybe, when you can actually start being useful in battle?
Well, it's like it's one of those things. Okay, so here's how I see it. You have sorcery points, right? And you can either use sorcery points to either make the spell that you have a little bit better, or just hang on to those sorcery points to regain spell slots. And look at the exchange rate for spell slot. Okay, first of all, you can't make spell slots over 5th level, which is like why? Anyways,
yeah.
And then even that, the amount that you have to, the amount of sorcery points you have to spend to get a spell slot back is a lot. Like it's 5 points for a 3rd level spell.
Yeah.
Which to me seems that seems like a lot. You know, which okay, so you get third level spells at level 5. So if you have a third level spell and you want to get it back, you have to spend all of your points to get it back, which makes the rest of your spells not that much greater. So it's this weird like risk versus reward thing.
Yeah, but even then, like just play a wizard, man.
Yeah, it's like why? Yeah, exactly. It's like at this point, why aren't you just playing a wizard?
Yeah, just play a wizard and flavor it. You know.
And it's like the draconic bloodline sorcerer just seems boring. Like I'm sorry. You know, like
Dude, people are gonna riot for that comment.
I'm sorry, but it just that's just what it feels like to me. It just feels like it's boring, you know. And it's one of the things like draconic bloodline's boring. Wild magic is too like.
Wild magic will be fun the first few times, but like in a long campaign, after you guys are level 8 and you're like grueling through this whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And keeping track of that and like having to remember to roll, like it's and like, oh, you did that again, whoopie-doo. Because like let's be honest, like rolling a d20, it's more than likely it's gonna roll the same numbers over.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, but it could be so cool.
Yeah, and this is actually one of those classes that I feel like it got better with the further like the later books where they threw in better subclasses, but that's an episode for another time.
Yeah, for reals. But this is what I'm gonna say though. Next time we play a short campaign, a short adventure, I'm gonna play a sorcerer. I'm gonna really dive into it and like see if it just sounds really grueling, but it's actually fun, or is it actually that grueling? You know what I mean?
It could be one of those things. It's like on paper it sucks, but you know, in the heat of the moment, it could be really awesome. There's really no telling, but it's just looking at it. I'm not a fan. I'm sorry.
I'm calling it right now though. I'm gonna play a sorcerer next time we do a short adventure.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll let you know. I'll do first-hand investigation on that the sorcerer.
I'm locking you in on that one.
All right. What is your number 9?
Wait, what was your number 10? Oh wait, your number 10 was a warlock, right?
We'll be doing like this sidestep thing. So yeah,
okay.
Number 10 was a warlock. My number 9 was a sorcerer.
So my number 9 is the monk.
Okay.
The only reason why is that a monk at the first couple levels is awesome to play as. Like you get a extra attack as a bonus action at level 1. Awesome. You know, you at level, I want to say 2 or 3, you get to do another 2 attacks as a bonus action. Also awesome. But then it's just like after level 5, it just kind of gets left in the dust. You know?
I think it becomes OP really fast.
You think so?
Yes, like exactly what you're saying. Like it's really cool early on, and then everybody catches on, and then you're just part of the.
Yeah, it peaks early, and then after that, you just kind of get left in the dust.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the martial arts, the martial arts damage caps at a 1d10, which sounds a little weird to me. Like I don't know why they didn't just go for the 1d12 or something like that.
I feel like they should have, just because like, come on, like at that level 20, you're doing 1d10.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and granted, you at level 20, you do get to attack up to 4 times if you use your flurry of blows, but that's still that.
Yeah, but at level 20, you should be able to hit, a d12 at least.
Yeah, and also at level 20, I feel like if you're at level 20 and you're using your moves to just attack, you're probably wasting your character's potential, because let the fighter do the hitting, let the barbarian do the hitting. You need to focus on something else, and the thing about a monk is that they have a lot of cool stuff, but it's all kind of situational.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Deflect missiles. That shit's badass.
Deflect missiles is really cool. However, the ability to it's one of those things. It's like, crap! I'm losing my train of thought here. Catching the missile is cool, but sending it back, you're probably going to get like one chance to do that.
Yeah.
You know, because you have to roll a d10, then it's your dex modifier, then your monk level, which again, let's say it's roll 20. Let's say it's level 20. All right. So you have to catch a missile that's doing more than 20 something damage. That's not going to happen because all the things coming at you are going to be like 50 damage or something like that, you know. And it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things that when I was playing as a monk in Dragon Heist, I'm not gonna crap on Dragon Heist for once. Okay, I've just put this disclaimer out there.
Here it goes.
Like seriously, the first session, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm a monk. This is awesome. I'm like punching up kinkus and shit. But then by the seventh or eighth session, I'm like, I don't get to do anything. I'm like, my character has like nothing. and again, that's not. I don't think that's a problem with the campaign. I think that's a problem with the monk because it's like, oh, you get to do this thing at level 3, and you're like, oh, well, that's not going to happen. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like you kind of have to be really wary of what you can do to get the full potential of your character. That being said, Way of the Shadow, I think a Way of the Shadow monk is a better stealth class than a rogue.
Yes, it could. Yes, it could really OP the. But that's for another episode. Fun enough, my number 8 is the monk.
God damn it!
And the reason it is a little higher than yours, I think, is because of the way Heather played her monk in Storm King's Thunder. By the time they were level 10, I think, or so, dude, fuck, man. She essentially she was able to see the Matrix. She was like flying and moving fast as hell and punching 20 times in a row. It was ridiculous, and that's why I think I kind of fell in love with the monk a little bit, you know. But when I'm like, oh, let me see if I want to play a monk, I'm always not so hot about when I actually read it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that's definitely one of those things that when I made a monk, I definitely wanted to just be like a martial artist.
Yeah.
But then once it kind of like once reality set in, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, but if you know, it's a little bit like that for a lot of other classes too. I think it's just the monk is the perfect opportunity for somebody to just punch things with their fist, and I think it does a good job at that. And it has enough flavor, it has enough cool things that you get throughout to make you feel like a really badass martial artist. You know, definitely way better than druid when it comes to, you know, actually doing damage and being useful in battle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Like I said, that level 1 fight, like I went to bed super satisfied. I was like, yes,
punching all the time.
Yeah, but it, you know, and the weird thing about a monk is that to me, like all their good stuff is at the beginning or the end of.
But like really end, not like.
Yeah, like 17 on in. But everything between like 5 and 16, there's really not a lot going on. You know, it's just a lot of empty air.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's level 6. You get your monastic tradition stuff. So, but other than that, after that, it's just improvements here and ability scores and some evasion. I guess evasion's gonna be very.
Evasion's really handy. I will give it that. And the fact that monk has the highest mobility, like par none, is really cool too.
Especially if you don't have armor. Oof.
Yeah, I mean, because you get to move literally twice. But by the time you're level 20, you get to move literally twice the amount that anybody else can.
It's
magical. So that is like literally just go in, put in a couple hits, and get out. Just you know.
All right, so that's my number 8. How about yours, Andrew?
My number 8 is the barbarian because they're stupid. No.
Blasphemy.
No, listen. Listen to what I have to say.
No.
No, you're mad at me because I speak the truth.
I will talk to the elders.
No. No, that's my seat at the High Council. Anyways. Okay, so this is where we're starting to get into the point in my list where there's more good than bad in terms of classes. I would say the monk is probably the last class that I was like kind of like on the fence about. The barbarian, I think it's a good class. Don't get me wrong. You know, its damage output, from what I've heard, its damage output is like holy crap. And it has the highest hit points potential out of all the classes, because if you don't have Constitution as one of your top classes in barbarian, you're playing it wrong. Like it legitimately says that in the book.
Yeah, you need to have those hit points to take those hits.
Oh yeah, I mean, and it kind of tells you to do that because your unarmored defense, it's your Dex modifier and your Constitution modifier plus 10.
Yeah,
which is awesome. So if you have a high Dex and a high Constitution, you know you're set. The thing I don't like about barbarians, though, well, actually, let's just kind of put a pin on that because I want to talk about the good stuff about barbarians. They get a oh, by the way, the unarmored defense, you can still use a shield and use that.
Oh, really?
So, yes, it says you can use a shield and still gain this benefit.
Oh shit! I'm gonna bring that up
exactly
to my barbarian.
I feel sorry for your DM in the future. And the thing about it is, it's one of those things where you look and you're like, I only get a +2 to my rage damage, but that +2 adds up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, you don't think it's going to do that much, but it really does. That weirdly enough, that +2 really adds up.
Yep.
Even if you pick the Path of the Berserker Barbarian, which I think is the lesser of the two that's in the player's handbook, even if you do pick the Path of the Berserker, you still get, when you're raging, you get a bonus melee attack on top of your extra attacks. You can't be charmed or frightened. I mean, there's a lot going on here that's really cool about it. But then if you pick the Path of the Totem, like at level, what's it? Which one is it? At level 3, if you're a bear totem, you get resistance to every damage except for psychic. Every damage.
Hell yeah, dude.
So
that's why you don't need armor, man.
No, that's really not. The only real big downside about barbarians is because they are such fighting machines. Stuff like wisdom and intelligence is going to take a backseat, which makes them pretty susceptible to spells.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those things that if you're a DM and your party has a barbarian, that's the one you hit them with Tasha's Hideous Laughter first or something like that. Just kind of take them out of the game altogether. You know.
Yeah.
That being said, I'll probably roll with the barbarian. It's not my first choice, but it's definitely up there for me.
So plot twist, my number 7 is the barbarian.
God.
And it wasn't gonna be originally. It was actually, I think it was just above the ranger, just because when you first hear it, it's like, oh, it's just, you just hit things, and then like, okay, cool, it's another class more, something more interesting. But then like, wait a minute, if you just want to play like a class that just is really good at one specific thing, and that thing is hitting things, this is the perfect class. And this was
barbarian. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the barbarian is the definitive. When all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Dude, yes. And one of my, so we're playing at work. We're doing a D&D campaign for Out of the Abyss, and the barbarian. Oof, man, we got into an encounter with gnolls, and let me tell you, the highest output that she did at level 2, we kept track, was 17. But she didn't.
How?
I think because I'm a cleric, so I was blessing her, and I also gave her Shield of Faith.
Oh, okay. So there's a lot going on.
There was a lot going on. But Have you ever seen that? You know Team Fortress, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how like the classic, like the doctor goes behind the guy with the Gatling gun and he just heals him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're healing the heavy.
That's exactly what I'm doing. And dude, she was hitting 17. She rolled a couple of like natural 12s on her D12. Bro, she just annihilated everything in the field. And like I was barely doing like 8 damage. She was just like 13, 14, 17, 15, like nothing below a 10.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful to see. And I'm like, holy crap, that brought the barbarian from at position 12 to number 7. And then like I don't know much of the class because every time I see it, I'm just like, okay, yeah, it's just a guy who hits things. So I haven't taken the time to actually like read it. But bro, raging and first of all, I'm like looking at the table right now, and at level 20, your rages go from 6 per long rest to unlimited.
To unlimited, yeah.
It's not like, oh, you have 20 and then it goes to no, it's 6 to unlimited. Which I mean, not many people play level 20. But anyways, rages are the beautiful thing to witness. Reckless attacks on armor defense. I'm just like, you have nothing on you and you're barely getting it touched. If you have somebody on your party that heals the tank and gives the tank like, you know, a blessing or something to pump up their AC, you're set. And if that barbarian has a shield, forget about it.
Oh yeah, no, you're not getting through.
Yeah, dude, and like it was brutal. It was beautiful. It was just like the whole table was just cheering every time she just rolled like a massive hit. It was great. The DM was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hold on, run that by me again.
Yeah. It was one of those moments that you're kind of like, you know, like, wait, it's that can't be real. Show me show me your work. Like, what did you do? Like, nope,
justify how you got there.
Yeah, it's like, nope, the science checks out. It's beautiful, dude.
The real big takeaway from the barbarian, however, is that it has no role playing aspect.
Nope. Well, you could in the sense that like you're just that brute that doesn't.
Oh no! I mean, hold on. let me explain that better. I mean that there's no real class features that talk about role playing.
Yes,
like it's literally just fight.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
like here's how you can hit things better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's not even just like fight. It's just smack things. Because I feel like fighting is an art, right? Like the fighter is like an art, a craftsman when it comes to fighting. But not a craftsman. I'm like
an artisan.
An artisan when it comes to fighting. The barbarian, he's just that guy who kills. He's a little bit of a John Wick. A book, a pencil, a table. I got this.
Yeah. The barbarian. There was a reason why when we were playing 3.5, our barbarian was like a living weapon.
Yeah.
Like we were just like, all right, just let him do his thing.
Yeah.
Like, let him have his fun.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. You know, but don't and the only drawback I see is that don't be disappointed if like halfway through the campaign it turns into a little bit more exploration / role playing, trying to figure out something that happened in your board. Because sadly, you know, you're really good at killing things. You know,
well, it's not. I mean, you're really good at killing things. Yeah, but you're also really good in a dungeon setting. Like, you know, you get the danger sense.
Oh yeah, danger sense. Forgot about that.
You know, you get what's it? You get the feral instinct, which means you get advantage on your initiative rolls, and you pretty much you can't be surprised if you enter your rage. Yeah. So I mean that stuff's really cool, but it's one of those things that anything outside of a dungeon or combat, like the barbarian is like, okay, you know.
Yeah, he's just a silent bodyguard for the group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's by design. I can respect that, you know.
100%.
Yeah. So.
All right, Andrew. Your number 7.
We're actually my number 7's the Artificer. I put that down on my list, and the only reason why I put that at number 7 was because it's right smack dab in the middle, and that's because I don't know jack shit about the Artificer. So
let me educate you a little bit.
Okay.
I got to learn a little bit about it when I played that one off. And again, I'm not an expert at this. Well, I'm not an expert at any class, but this is a fairly new one. But essentially, because spoiler alert, my Artificer is my number 6. I didn't even realize this, but like I have like my stuff on a notepad on my computer, and I put it right next to your document, and it's
is it literally just there's one?
It's very close. There's a couple of twists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, when we get like the top 3, that's when this thing becomes into an argument.
Maybe. But no. So the cool thing about the Artificer is that he's an intelligent-based spellcaster, essentially. But his thing is that it's not magic; it's science, and it's pretty fucking cool.
Magic is just science.
Okay.
Science is just magic that we've come to understand.
Oh my god, is this a gift that you pull from your MySpace page?
No.
And the reason why he's high on my list, or higher than yours, really, is because it was a really fun class to play. Specifically, if you go with because luckily we did level 3. If you go with the Battle Forge, I think it was called. Where you essentially become a tank / support in the field, because you get a construct. You can make it look whatever you want to look. You build this thing, and it essentially takes hits, and then allows you to go around and do your thing without getting punched in the face, because you're not, you don't have the highest AC when you're an Artificer.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's a fun class. Once again, it has a lot of the things for the Artificer happens early on. Then like halfway through, it becomes a what's it called? It becomes just regular like skill improvements and all that kind of stuff.
Now, I heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in this, I heard that an Artificer really loses its edge if the DM starts introducing more like +1, +2 weapons into the game. Is that true?
Yes, because essentially the main cool thing about the Artificer is that it can make its own magic weapon and magic items. So early on, when nobody has a +1, you essentially can have them. You're like, yep, I just made my whatever mace a +1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you did that during the Christmas adventure. I was like, wait, you can just hold on.
Yeah, and I can not just mine, but anybody's, but like I could. So, for example, for you, I wanted to make your armor a +1 armor. And then that's kind of like its thing. It doesn't. We didn't get too far. We didn't level up at all, actually, but we didn't get too far in. But I think that it doesn't improve as you level up. So that's. I think that's what you're hearing from people.
Okay. So it's one of those things that's like I didn't really know where to put the Artificer, so it's just like we'll just plink him right in the center.
Yeah, and it's fine. Like he hasn't proven himself. He's a new boy in the block for 5e.
Yeah. So
at level 3 you get you get a faithful companion. He can be whatever shape you want it to be, and he has his own stat block and everything. And it's actually it's very beefy. Okay, so the Artificer gets enhanced weapon, enhanced defense, and it's just +1. And it increases to +2 when you're level 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty pretty good, because most adventures you're not going to get anything past a +2 when you're like level 10 anyways.
Really? Don't you get?
I think so.
Is it it's a high tier when you start getting like the +3s and stuff like that.
Yeah, because +3s are like legendary. Like, oh, like this is the sword that struck down Satan. You know?
Whoa.
Yeah. So
yeah, but it kind of like ends there. And when I first read it, I thought that you could do that as many times as you want, but it's actually so you can only like enhance one thing until I think there's a table for that. But it's not as freely as you would like. It's a little bit more limited. Which, to be fair, you kind of have to do that. Otherwise, you can infuse 2 items up to level 5, then 3 items up to levels 9, and then 4 items up to level 13, and then the max is 6 items at level 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So up to you. At one point, you get to a certain level, and you're gonna have a full armor, a full get up +1. Your weapon, your armor, your shoes, your underwear.
So okay. Oh man, thank God I got these +1 underwear on.
So comfortable.
But yeah, it's the armor class that makes it comfortable.
Doesn't do anything else.
Which, speaking of comfortable and durable underwear, no, I'm just kidding. We're not sponsored yet.
I wish. All right, Andrew. So my 6 is artificer. For certain reasons. What is your number 6?
My number 6 is the rouge. No, that's a color. Damn it! No, it's the rogue.
Why?
Why? What are you talking about? We're getting into the better stuff now.
Why? This is trash.
What?
That should be number 14.
But
I don't know. I'm just trying to spice up the episode.
Manufactured drama.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, I put rogue at 14 past one of the homebrew classes that I found on D&D Wiki.
Oh God, D&D Wiki. It's not even a DM skill.
You'll never see a bigger hive of scum and villainy than D&D Wiki.
It's a Wild West out there, man. You don't go there.
Oh, dude, no. D&D Wiki's a cesspool. Anyways, but the reason why I have rogue at number 6 is because we're starting to get into the classes that I really like. They're still pretty good at stealth, even though they're not as good as Way of the Shadow Monk. But all of the rogue archetypes are good at stealth, so that takes it from there. They are the stealth class for that particular reason. Their sneak attack damage is, whoo boy.
Yes.
That I think we can probably leave that argument there. that sneak attack though. But then they get expertise, which means they get to double their proficiency in any ability that they choose. They get cunning action, which is really cool. They get evasion. Uncanny dodge is handy. Evasion is awesome. And the thing about it is, I'm gonna sound like a bit of a hypocrite here, but then they get the roguish cant, which is a language just for rogues. And I know listeners out there would be like, "But you said that druidic is stupid." That's because it is.
Actually, it's called thieves.
I think the roguish cant is handier because I can see that being used more often than druidic. You get what I'm saying?
Yes. Hello?
You didn't hear any of that, did you?
I did hear it. Yes, I did hear it, but you're not listening. You're not hearing me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what'd you say?
I said I heard all of that. You just weren't hearing me. I don't know why.
What'd you say?
I said yes.
No, I was agreeing with you.
I was saying that it's actually thieves cant, not roguish cant.
Did I say rogue cant? Oh
yes.
My gosh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, sorry. Sorry, let's edit that back in. Thieves cant, and edit that over when I say roguish cant. That way it's obviously edited in.
Yes.
No, but the thieves cant, I see that being more useful because 9 times out of 10, your characters are probably going to go to a civilization somewhere, and they're going to use like a network of bandits or what have you. And the thing about it is, thieves can't. It's not a language. It's just like what's the word I'm looking for here? Like a combination of words that
it's gang signs.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you roll over the Waterdeep West Side. No,
it doesn't even have to be like a city or anything. It can just be like a small settlement, and it just so happened that the network reaches there.
Yeah, and you can make it as fun as you want with the road. God, I did it again. Thieves can't. Where you can make it to where it's a simple like thing, like, oh, the eagle flies at midnight kind of like deal,
Yeah.
and the bartender's like, I'm sorry, what? And you're like, oh shit, this ain't my contact.
You try that with every person.
But I actually saw someone on a subreddit do an exchange that they have with one of their players with Thieves Can't, and how it was a perfectly normal conversation, but when you run it through the quote unquote translator, they were like carrying out a contract for a hit or something like that. Yeah, and it was like, oh, how are the kids doing and stuff like that. And it's like, and the translation was, do you need anybody that needs taken care of? And it's like, oh, well, little Bobby's not feeling too well. We might have to take him in. And it's like King Robert is being a nuisance. We're gonna have to take him out, kind of a thing. And it's just like, and
that could be really fun to role play with somebody.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That seems a lot more fun than Druidic, which is some weird Celtic thing. But okay, so rogues are really awesome in a certain light of combat. I think we kind of learned the hard way that they cannot go toe to toe in combat.
I feel I agree with that 100%. And then it's like, if you're playing a rogue, you need to know that you wait for somebody else to get up to the bad guy's face, and then you go in for the stab.
Yeah, you scum it out. Don't be a hero when you're a rogue.
No, you're not a hero. You're a thief. You're a rogue. You're a whatever the hell
you're the guy that throws sand in their face.
Yeah, pocket sand.
Yeah. But then on top of that, I mean, like the only thing I really had to say about rogues against them is that they're pretty weak in terms of like taking hits. Like if everybody focuses fires on a rogue, it's going to go down. Like no problem.
Oh yeah. But that's why they're good at sneaking around and being one with the shadows and uncanny dodge and all that stuff, man. That's how you get out of that.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's tons of fun with the rogue. The thief subclass, I'm not too crazy about. The other two, I think, are really awesome though. The assassin and the arcane trickster.
Arcane trickster, I wanted to play for the longest time, but assassin. Assassin is that's just a rogue. That's the rogue.
Yeah. The assassin, and I think it's something that it's a charisma based thing, right? The assassin, which is super cool because that already tells you that you're not going to be sneaking around. You're going to be talking your way through the security, and then you stab the mark right in the freaking neck, and then that's when you leave. So
you just quickly make your exit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree. So what number are we in? 5? 6?
Yeah, we're number 5.
Number 5. My number 5 is
the rogue,
the fighter.
Oh, okay.
Surprise! Yeah, the fighter. I mean, I love the fighter because it can do pretty much everything. That is like the jack of all trades and the being good at anything class, and except for spellcasting. But when it comes to fighting and being like the soldier of the group, it's been proven to me that a fighter with shield master, or whatever the hell it's called, it is an intimidating foe.
Yeah, get this man a shield.
Yeah, pretty much. And I love it because you're just good at fighting, and not necessarily just in the sense that you hit hard, but like that you're proficient with a lot of different things. You can wear pretty much every armor, all the weapons you can use, and yeah, if you want like I don't want to say vanilla because that sounds bad, but like the safe choice for a new player / somebody who just wants to have fun without having to think too much when it comes to like what it's gonna do in battle and just around the area, or just around the table. I feel like a fighter can just accommodate almost everybody.
Well, the fighter is one of those classes that's it's one of the pre-generated characters in the beginner's adventure.
Yeah, and once you choose your fighting style, you just stick with that, and you're more than likely going to be better than the ranger at archery. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Like dueling and freaking, having which is funny because I'm playing a blood hunter, which is essentially a fighter. I'm really good at hitting things with my sword, and I love it.
That's actually one of those things that's like when I was looking over the Blood Hunter, I'm like, why don't you just play an Eldritch Knight Fighter? I don't get it.
No, Andrew, it's different. I already bought the white wig. Can't go back now.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the wolf medallion to come in. I got it on Etsy.
Yeah, dude. And I didn't get that shit from Netflix. I got the wolf medallion from the game. That shit's cooler.
They're selling it on Netflix. No, that's okay.
But yeah, no. I mean, it has just going down the list. Second wing. Like, just you don't go down that easy. Action surge, martial archetype. You go down that list, and then you can.
That was actually one of those things when Howard's like, I'm going to use my second win. I'm going to get 12 health back. Give me. I'm like, wait, you can do that?
It's 1d10 plus your fighter level. So yes, you can. I just imagine him. He's just like, he just gets hit really hard and just goes. Okay, I just need a breather. Hold on a second. All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, this is the I can do this all day. Thing,
yeah, pretty much. And this guy, excuse me, this guy may not hit the hardest like the barbarian can, but he can hit with a lot more things and more frequent.
Yeah. So let's get this straight. Well, actually, hold on. I'm going to go on about why I like fighters so much when I get to that part of my list. Yes. Because, whoo boy, when we get there. All right.
So what's your number 5?
My number 5, and this is where the arguments start, but here we go. My number 5 is the bard.
Trash.
I know. Because Trash. You put it.
You disappoint me, Andrew.
Anyways, as I was going to say,
I win the argument because you didn't say anything back. That's how the internet works, right?
I win the argument because I kicked them from the Discord.
It's just me now. I took over.
He didn't respect my administrative powers. So
No. I mean, I don't have anything against bards. It's just personally not a class I don't see myself playing. So go ahead, defend. Which there's not much to defend because I didn't say that many bad things about it. So just tell me why you love it so much. Might as well marry it.
Anyways, but the bard is it's one of those things. It's like I have a weird relationship with the bard class because it's like I don't want to play a bard. Yeah, I have absolutely no desire to play a bard, but it can do so much, and I'm like I can't take it away from the fact that it's surprisingly a lot more decent in combat than a spellcaster class has any right to be, but it's also really good as a spellcaster class. It's obviously not as good as a wizard. Ain't nothing going to beat a wizard, but it's doing a fair lot more than what a druid will do.
Yeah, I will give you that 100% because even though most of their spells are supportive spells, they can still hit. They can still like be a nuisance in the field for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, potentially for the players too. If they do the stereotypical, I'm going to seduce the dragon bard.
Oh God, no! I want somebody to play Dandelion from The Witcher
and get hit. Well, I mean, the thing about it is, I'm looking at the bard spell list, and yeah, it is a lot of support, a lot of utility spells, but I feel like that all just kind of leans further into the class that where the bard is essentially supposed to be like a cheerleader.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah. He's never gonna be in the in the front lines or even close to battle on purpose.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, a bard can be pretty good in the front lines if you go with the College of Valor bard, because they get proficiency in medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. So, I mean, it can't. I'm not going to say it's going to be a tank, not by a long shot, but it can hold its own. Like, it can take a couple of hits, and it gets an extra attack, it gets battle magic. But it also has like surprisingly good healing.
Yes.
So it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, you don't have a cleric? But you guys have a bard. Okay, all right, yeah, that okay. That's cool.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that.
And it's one of those things that's like, on paper, a bard's really good. I can't take that away from it. And the fact that it can give bardic inspiration to people is really neat. I think that's a really, really cool feature.
That's a lot of cantrips, yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of spells. By level 20, it knows 22 spells.
Dang.
That's a lot. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean that's why bards are so high up on my list. It's like, it's one of those things that's like, God, I don't like you, but I can't.
I don't like you, but I respect.
Exactly. So
yeah, no, I mean, technically for me, okay, you gave it a fairer placement in the list. I was just kind of like, it's not something I will play, so I'm gonna put it down here. But I can agree with you.
Bards are dumb.
Know your place, trash. Yeah, because for me, it's just there's a lot of other classes that I want to play, before I get to the bard.
And I think another big up about the bard is because it's a charisma based class. It's going to have a lot of role playing potential.
Yes, for sure.
So it's definitely going to be one of those things. Like, as long as you're okay with not being the best in combat, you're going to have a lot of fun playing a bard.
Yeah, yeah.
So
if you're okay with like supporting your teammates and like helping them out, like staying out of the way and just playing that silly song so your teammates get hyped up and they can hit harder. You're okay with that, and you're fine. Then you're gonna love the class. If you want to be more up on somebody's face and actually doing damage, like firsthand, and it's not for that kind of play.
No,
yeah,
no. A bard's a really fun class, but it's not the best class.
Yeah. So my number 4. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
It's the bard. No, I'm kidding. It's a.
Wait a minute.
No, it's a rogue, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I actually really like this class. They're very versatile. Their archetypes can go in many different directions, and I love that because I, for once, love the fact that I can just be sneaky and hide, and then when you don't see me, I just rip you a new one. You know what I mean? And then jump out of the way and hide again. Of disarming traps, finding traps, unlocking doors, being that utility belt character for the group. It's my favorite part of the rogue.
Yeah, the rogue is definitely the like the specialist you call in when you hit a roadblock.
Yeah, and I love the which one that I haven't played, which I don't know why I haven't played it, but the what's it called? The arcane trickster is one that I really want to. I gotta get too much into it, but it sounds awesome that you can, mage hand and bring magic into the element of being that literally that literal Swiss Army knife of a class.
Yeah, that's one of those things. when I saw the arcane tricks, I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Come on, this is unfair.
And it's great, cunning action, uncanny dodge, expertise, evasion. Like, try to hit me by level 8. Good luck.
The one thing that a lot of people have to note is that when you are playing the Arcane Trickster, you can only use enchantment or illusion spells. This is important.
Yeah, so, no, but that's badass as hell because you can just trick people and like, I want to play one. I just haven't had a chance to.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, if you're going to be playing as a spell casting rogue, you're going to be using those spells anyway. So yeah.
Also, their armor looks cool in the book.
It does. That is some super edgy artwork if I ever seen it.
Like, you want to be an edgelord? Play a rogue.
There were so many 16-year-olds that saw that and were like, "Fuck yeah!
I'm gonna go to school dressed like this.
This is my guy."
Oh yeah,
he gets me.
He understands my pain. But yeah, no, I mean, I think you touch on like the other stuff that I like about the rogue, but like for me, man, it's a really cool class. It can be as silly or as serious as you want it to be. One thing I will never do is be that dick that steals from the teammates.
Everybody.
Yeah, I hate it. I don't understand why people do that. It's not funny. It might be funny like once, but like,
yeah, it's funny if like, you know, if you know somebody and they're like, "Oh, haha, stop that," you know, kind of a thing.
And even then, like, I don't just once, man. That's just do it once. I shut the fuck up. You know, like,
or the only way I can really justify that being useful if it's something that's like you're running away from the guards and you have the magic MacGuffin, or you don't have it, but the group's paladin does.
Mm-hmm.
And the rogue's like, "Oh shit, I got to cut and run," and everyone's like, "Oh god damn it, that rogue's running away again." But what you didn't know was that the rogue like kind of went to like sidebar with the DMs, like, "Hey, I'm gonna try to take the MacGuffin off the paladin. Is that cool?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure, go for it. Just roll some, stealth." So that way, when the guards search you, you don't have this item. Why were they chasing you in the first place? Haha,
exactly. If you play well, you can be slippery. Oh, it's just, I love it. And dude, by 14 level, you get blind sense. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Rogue is definitely one of those things. It's like, I feel like each party has to have this, and this. Like, if you're having 4 people in the party, one of you probably has to be a rogue or something adjacent to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they can fill that utility role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, that's why rogue is my number 4, man. Now, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is the paladin.
Okay.
So this is actually, hear me out on this. The reason why it's not like in the top 3 is because I actually think it's unfair if you play as a paladin. because they do so much. And that's actually, it got to the point that I'm like, I don't want to play a paladin anymore, because it's like it sounds really cocky, but it's like, it's just unfair. I want a challenge. You can
tank, you can hit, and you can spellcast.
Yeah, and your spellcasting, it's not the greatest, but that's not the point.
Yeah, but it's there. You can use it.
And okay, so let's just go through a paladin real quick.
All right.
First of all, they are the holy warrior. So the book tells you. Yeah, literally. Dude, can I get a witness? The book tells you to put your points into strength first. Anytime it tells you to put your points in strength first, that's a damn good class.
Yep.
But then you get divine smite, which, oh sweet Jesus, divine smite. Oh my gosh,
dude, it's the greatest, man.
Divine smite. Oh my god, how do I love you? Let me count the ways.
Excuse me.
And okay, so then you get extra attack at 5th level.
Don't forget about lay on hands.
Hold on, I haven't gotten there yet. Yeah, you do get lay on hands, which is really handy. It's really great for patching people up real quick in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also really good for diseases and poisons. I don't think it does anything for curses, does it? No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
But that's okay.
It doesn't do diseases, man.
No, it does do diseases. Not not curses though.
I'm sorry, curses. Dang it. Okay, whatever.
That's okay. But at level 11 you get improved divine smite, which means you just get divine smite for free.
Yep.
Every attack gets a divine smite on it, and I'm like, why? This is so unfair.
No, it's not.
No, I mean,
it's the man God wanted.
Yeah, exactly. This is God's chosen. The oaths are really cool. The special the spells you get per the oaths are also really neat.
Yeah. Dude, Oath of the Vengeance. Ooh, if you want to do some serious damage.
Yeah, that's if you really got a bone to pick with a certain enemy. And it's the Paladin's one of those things that I made a joke with you before, but I don't know why, but someone on the writing team at 5e just had like a hard on for Paladins. It was just like, we got to make this the best damn class in the book. so it's like if you pick a Paladin in 5e, you essentially win already.
Yep. You won the co-op game. Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. And that's.
Can you imagine a party of Paladins and they're all different oaths?
No. Jose, no. Jose, don't do this to me.
I know what we're doing for your next campaign.
No.
Actually, I'm going to talk to the group. We're going to kill all of our characters, and then we're just going to be Paladins.
So as the Fifth Crusade rolls into Barovia, Strahd's like, shit. What am I gonna do?
Dude, Oath of Vengeance in Barovia. Oh man, if you make man, you make your undead your favorite enemy.
That's why I was like, seriously, no one's playing a paladin.
Dude,
like,
okay. So
seriously,
I was going to. The only reason I didn't is because I played it not once but twice already. I played it once when we first played Curse of Strahd with that other group, and I played it when Alex ran Death House or House, whatever.
No. You also played a paladin for that one shot I ran.
Which one?
The one with the Yuanti.
Yeah. I think it was the same one from the one that Alex made.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But in the sense, like I already played Paladins in Barovia, not once but twice.
So
I knew how OP it was going to be, and I was just like, I'm going to choose another OP.
Just trading one broken class for another.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is actually one of those things that's like, I don't feel like it suffers from the lack of alignment requirements.
Yeah.
But it definitely, it's one of those things. It's like, there's no alignment requirements for classes in this one, because in 3.5 you had to be lawful good to be a paladin.
Right.
Like, that's it. So I'm like, wait a minute, anybody can be a paladin now? What have we done?
You were so worried. If you could, you never asked it.
If you should, yeah, exactly. And it's just okay. All right, we're doing this. So it's one of those things. Like, if I'm running a game, anybody picks paladin, I'm already sweating bullets.
Yeah, no, paladin is a great class. Very little thing, very little drawback to the class.
I would say the only drawback is that, I mean, because even its saving throws are awesome. It has a wisdom and charisma saving throw,
which is one of the most common ones.
Yeah, the wisdom is the most common one. Anything that has a wisdom saving throw, it's already a plus in my book.
Yeah, exactly.
The only real... Now, I got nothing, actually.
Yeah, like, what is bad about it? Tell me, Andrew. Tell me.
Hold on. I'm sure I can find something.
Nope, you got nothing. Right. We're moving. No. We're moving to the next class.
Yeah, I was thinking I can't because it's a charisma-based spellcaster, so it's going to be really good in roleplay. It's excellent in combat.
Yep.
The only thing I would probably say is this is really niche. Just plunk them in a forest, see how well they do. But even then, the Oath of the Ancients kind of helps with that a bit.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
So it's like, fuck it, I got nothing, man. I'm sorry.
Oh shit. Yep, that's why it's my oh wait, no, that was your number 4.
It's like your number 1, ain't it?
So my number 3
Okay.
is the wizard.
Really? Okay. Let's hear it. Let's hear why you hate wizards so much.
I don't hate wizards. They're my number 3.
Yeah, you put it at the low number 3. You might as well put it with the druid.
Andrew.
So the wizard, also known as the slightly better druid.
Yes. From my 12th place to my 3rd place. Yeah. Well, wizards. My mouth is dry because I drank my beer. They're fantastic spellcasters.
Unparalleled.
Yes, like there's nothing that compares to a wizard. I love the fact that thematically they are just normal people who just learn magic.
And here's the thing. I actually brought this up with you. And I was thinking, do you think this is like Wizards of the Coast saying if you study hard, that's better than natural talent?
I think so, bro. I actually did think so.
You know?
Like, excuse me. Yeah, no, they're great, dude. They have for just level 1. Just a little level 1. You get 3 cantrips and 2 level 1 spells.
The only problem is you have like 2 health. So
that is a major drawback of the wizard.
If someone sneezes on you,
if you haven't gotten your latest shot and somebody sneezes on you, you're dead.
If you bump into a particularly sharp corner of the table,
but that's when you cast mage armor, bro.
And there's no reason why you shouldn't have mage armor.
That should be the first thing you do when you're low level as a magician, as a wizard.
just gotta have that. You gotta have the the safety bags ready at all times.
Yeah, pretty much, man. But no, I love the way that their spellcasting works. It's not very complicated. It's fairly straightforward. You get a shit ton of cantrips just throughout. You end up with 5. What the fuck? Jesus Christ! Stop making me laugh. Yeah, and you haven't talked about wizards yet, right?
Not yet.
Okay. I don't know, man. They're just, and even like they're so. Even the schools, dude. There's so many schools you can choose from. What other class has that many subclasses? I guess you could call them. In the player's handbook, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The School of Abjuration, Conjuration, Divination, Enchantments, Evocation, Illusion, Necromancy, and Transmutation. And then later on, you get War Magic.
Yeah, isn't that that's a subclass from another book, ain't it?
Yeah, that's Sanitars.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you get your traditions at level 2. So you start pretty much in the beginning from whatever. Arcane Recovery, and essentially your pool of spells that you get from just all of them, right? Is there anything that the wizard cannot do?
The spells, that's one of those things that's like
we'll talk about it when we get to yours, but like for me it's just essentially like there is such a wide range of things that you can focus. You can like not focus, pinpoint your character to. Like, do you want to be a support wizard? You can do that. Oh, do you want to do like more of like the not psionic creation stuff? You can do that. You want to trick people? Illusion. You want to be an evil motherfucker and bring dead people from death? Necromancy. You know, there's like so many things you can do. It's very, very flexible, and you cannot beat it. Did you not hear anything I just said?
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I definitely did.
Because like it's been doing that, man. I freaking hate that. I don't know what's wrong with Discord recently, but like
no, it's just one of those things. It's like I want to throw in my 2 cents, but I still have to go over my justification for wizards.
We're getting to yours. So I'll continue mine when we get to yours. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is the fighter.
Excellent. What's your number 2?
Okay, that's cool. Anyway.
No, okay, so fighter.
So the reason why the fighter is my number 3 is because you have certain aspects of combat. You know, you really only have 2. you have martial and arcane, right? Just like the wizard, I think, is unparalleled in arcane combat. The fighter is that in martial form.
100%.
Now, granted, the barbarian is a force to be reckoned with, but that is a sledgehammer. The fighter is a surgeon.
Yeah,
like they are precise, and when they hit hard, and they hit a lot.
Yep.
You know,
that's the thing. That's the thing with the fighter. They hit a lot.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what's it? Their extra attack. They get like 5 extra attacks or something like that.
At one point, you just don't stop hitting.
So he's been attacking since yesterday. Okay, so at level 20, you get up to 4 extra attacks. We haven't even talked about action surges yet.
Yeah.
So, which gives you an additional action, which you can use. You can get a second action surge at level 17. So at level 20, you're hitting 6 times at least. If a wizard casts haste on you, just at that point, just fucking pray. You know.
And then just don't forget about Indomitable at level 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you failed your saving throw? Nah, I don't.
No, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, let's try it again. Let's see that again.
It's essentially the lucky trait.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's for saving throws, which is...
And then you get fighting styles, which you can pick a... hold on. You adopt a fighting style specialty. I think you can get 2 different fighting styles, can't you? Or no?
Let me look at... Yeah, you get martial archetype at 3rd level, and then
I'm talking about the fighting styles. Oh, never mind. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was talking about the archery, defense, dueling, great weapon fighter. Now the only real drawback I have to say about the fighter is the champion archetype. It's not that great. If I were to pick a fighter, I would definitely go with either Battle Master or Eldritch Knight.
Battle Master.
I think we've seen what a Battle Master can do.
Battle Master, bro.
There's a reason why it's called a Battle Master.
Yeah.
Because holy crap, a Battle Master is awesome.
Yeah.
And that second win, that ain't nothing to scoff at. And even then, Eldritch Knight is surprisingly effective.
Also, you get so many ability scoring points. What?
You really do.
You get one at 4th level, 6th level, 8th level, 12th level, 14th level, 16th level, and 19th level.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing. And it's one of those things. It's like the barbarian is the best at doing damage, but the fighter is the best at fighting. And it's just a beautifully distilled class. And the thing about it is Wizards of the Coast somehow went from making the fighter from one of the most boring classes in D&D to one of the most interesting classes in D&D.
Yeah, I keep hearing that.
Just by switching up a couple of things.
Yeah.
You know? And it obviously like slingshotted fighters to me, because it's like it used to be fighters were low tier for me, but now I think they're awesome. And I can't wait to play a fighter. I definitely have one in the tank, and I do.
Don't you have like 3 already made?
No, I just have the one, right?
Oh,
I have the one right now. So, but yeah, I can't stress how much it and its beauty is in its simplicity.
Yes,
You know,
I agree with that, and that's why I like it because, hey, you want to have a first time playing D&D? You having a good time? You want to have a good time? Here's a fighter, and that person's gonna be like, oh shit, I'm hitting here. I can do this. I can do that. It's easy to follow. It's easy to understand what's happening. It helps you learn the mechanics if you're new. It's just
and then it's like, do you want to keep having a good time? You know,
right, exactly. Oh man. All right. So that's your number 3. Now my number 2 is. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for this?
No.
It's a paladin.
Hey, I think I know. Wait, I think I know what your number 1 is. Go on.
I mean, I already gushed all over the paladin early when you were talking about it, but like, there's nothing wrong with the paladin. It's too perfect. Like,
let me reiterate: the only reason why I put a paladin as number 4 is because I felt it was unfair to put it any higher.
Fuck that. Unfair, my ass. I will play a paladin.
It's too perfect. You're playing a Superman.
Exactly, and I love it because, like, you know me, I like all things like holy and celestial when it comes to like D&D and stuff like that. You know, and the paladin is just the perfect channel for that. Ugh, it's just it's so good. I mean, there's not really anything else I can say besides what we already talked about because I already said everything I was going to say when we talked about it earlier.
It's perfect. What can you do?
Yeah, exactly. Paladin, my number 2. Now, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is the wizard.
Woo!
Yeah, pretty much for a lot of the same reasons that you said. The reason why the wizard was so high, but it's one of these things. And one of the things I'm noticing is that Wizard of the Coast is taking a lot of classic classes and really juicing them up.
Was a wizard like not that sought after class for 3.5?
Oh no! Wizards always dominated.
Oh, okay. That was my understanding that wizards were always like the class.
Yeah, but I mean, but now even more so. Like they just like they. It's like we get it. You like wizards, you know.
It's in their name, man. Wizards of the Coast.
But yeah, no, it's just one of those things. Wizards, don't any class that tries the spellcast can't touch a wizard.
Not even close.
Not even close. The only real drawback about a wizard is that if you want to learn a new spell, you either have to level up or you have to copy it down. But even then, that's 50 gold per level. Which, if by the time you're level 20, you're beyond money. You know, like that shouldn't even be a problem.
Yeah.
It is.
Also gives you a perfect excuse to use gold because, like, let's be honest, we always end up campaigns with like 20 million gold and like nobody even cares.
Nobody's going to use it. It's just there. But that also really gives you like a really good, like as the player, it gives you like a really good chance to be like, wait a minute, that's an enemy wizard. When we kill him, I'm taking that fucking book. Exactly. You know, and I'm gonna start studying it. So
and the rest of the party is just like, here you go, nerd.
Yeah, here's your book.
Because nobody else has a use for it except for the wizard.
And even then, yeah, it costs 50 gold per level. But depending on what school you're in, it's so like if you're school of divination, all divination spells are half the gold required.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and it's just, oh god, wizards! You didn't have to make this so like it's almost broken. and then
not as broken as paladin.
And then, well, yeah, I know exactly. If a wizard trips and skins its knee, it's going down.
Man,
that's the biggest drawback.
I'm gonna multi-class a paladin
with a wizard.
Yes.
Oh no.
I'm gonna have to try to multi-class one day because like I haven't done that.
I hear multi-classing is really good if you dip in the warlock. I
keep hearing that.
It's from what I've heard, a lot of people say if you dip in the warlock or if you dip in the monk, it's really good. Yeah. So, anyways. Yeah, so I mean, it's just when it comes to wizards, there's a ton of potential. Even the drawbacks, like that can bring more flavor into the game.
Yeah, it can make it more, a little bit more interesting.
because there's no other class that can study spells, and it's just
fucking
it's awesome.
nerd.
I mean, they're doing it justice.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. All right, Andrew. Number 1, to no one's surprise.
Let's say it together, okay?
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Clerics.
Yep.
Like, dude.
Okay.
I made my list and then I opened the file and I'm like, really? I was kind of going from like 13 up. I'm like, this is essentially pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, so clerics. Clerics is one of those classes that it's so recommended, it's damn near required. Because anything you need, a cleric can do. It best healer, bar none.
It can be a really good tank.
It could. Okay, let's just go down the list. Life domain, best healer.
Yes.
Light domain, light or nature domain, light or tempest domain. Really, really good spellcaster. Nature domain, really good at exploration. Trickery domain, really
Take
good
that, range.
Yeah, fuck you, Ranger. This is essentially just us just crapping on the Ranger for like 2 hours.
Surprisingly, we haven't done that too much in this episode.
No, we haven't. With a lot of respect.
All right, let's start all over again.
Okay, yeah, all right. Hello, welcome to a talk of opportunity.
But trickery domain.
Yeah, so it's like if you need stealthing and or / like deceiving, like charisma based stuff, you have trickery. If you need a tank or just a frontline fighter, you get the war domain.
Oof.
And even then, war domain is like the weakest domain, but it still kicks ass.
Dude, and then you have like the forge domain and the grave domain, so you don't even have to be like a holy man. You can be like
well, that's where we're talking outside the PHP now.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to rein it in, but it's just what can't a cleric do?
I don't know, man. It's very well rounded, and like even just like healing and being support, which is what I've done for my other group. It's a lot of fun, because you're like all juggling all these spells, and you're just like, oh man, should I just use this on myself? Should I use the freaking barbarian who's taking chunks out of the enemy? Like who needs this the most? And like seeing their faces when you're like bless them with like +2 AC, and like, oh, it's so good as a support. It's so good at hitting things. It's so good at like healing things. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And the cleric is one of those classes that always.
And it has the same amount of cantrips and spell slots as the wizard. What?
Yeah. I mean,
I never put them side by side. Huh.
So it's one of those things that the cleric, for me, and it's so weird, but every time we go to like character creation for a campaign or an adventure or something, I always pick cleric first. And the weird thing about it is I almost never like that's not everyone's first choice for some reason, and I don't know why, because they are so damn good at what they do.
I think it's because not a lot of people want to be a support. And when they think it's not. You're right. It's not.
That's the thing. It's not a support. It has the stigma of being the support because it can do healing. But
exactly.
But man, if you want to get on the front line, I totally fucking forgot about knowledge domain.
Wait, what?
Which
knowledge,
is like
knowledge domain?
Yeah, that's like the arcane version.
Oh yeah. Yes. No, it's brutal, man. Like it's good. It's a really good class. It's well rounded. It's a little bit more complex than the fighter for like new players and stuff like that. But
yes,
but like it's easy to pick up and understand. Like it's not the warlock or the sorcerer. It's
like the cleric is what the druid wants to be. like the cleric is the poster that the druid has on the gym when it's working out. Because no, because seriously, if your class is if your party is missing a certain class, that druid can pretty effectively fill in that gap, depending on the domain.
You mean cleric?
What did I just say?
Druid.
Fuck.
Well,
Yeah, okay.
I'm looking at like the nature domain, and just like a first level, you already have animal friendship, and speak with animals.
Which makes you a druid.
What makes you a druid, but better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only thing is that you can't turn to animals, but we'll deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, whatever.
But it's like it's one of those things. There's such a stigma against clerics, and I don't understand why, because they're not the only one thing they really master in is healing. They are phenomenal at healing.
Yes.
But man, they are no slouches in anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, and even if you pick another domain, you can still heal, and pretty good at it too.
Because I mean, I'm not trying to blow my own horn here, but in Tomb of Annihilation, I was kicking some serious ass as a cleric.
You were hitting pretty hard.
So, and you can take it, because when you're a war domain, you get proficiency in heavy armor. So yeah, try to come at me.
Also, when you're a life domain, you also get proficiency in heavy armor.
When you're a Tempest domain, you get proficiency in heavy armor.
When you're a cleric, you get proficiency in life.
When not light domain, but that's okay. But I mean, like, still, dude, have you seen the light domain spells for clerics?
No, actually, I have not.
You get to cast Fireball.
What?
Let that sink. Yeah. At 5th level, one of the bonus spells for a light domain is that you get to cast Fireball.
Oh. Also, the art for light domain is pretty bum.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Burning Hands, Fiery Fire, Flaming Fear. Jesus Christ. I
mean, so and then look at life domain. Supreme Healing, you just max out on healing.
Yeah, that's what I have. And it's phenomenal. I love it.
I mean, clerics, oh my god, clerics don't get enough love, and it's a crime.
It is.
You know.
Yep.
To me, I would honestly say it's probably there's no perfect class, but clerics are pretty damn close.
Paladins are pretty perfect.
I don't know. Well, hold on, wait. I think don't clerics and paladins get the same saving throw? Yeah, they both get wisdom and charisma.
Dang it! I guess clerics are better.
I mean, the only real thing is that, like, if you're a cleric, it's just you have to be aware of what you can do in that situation. Like, if you're a knowledge domain cleric, you obviously don't want to be in the front end. But if you're a war domain cleric, yeah, go ahead, get in that mosh pit.
Yeah, just play with the domain. Yeah, no, for sure. Mm-hmm. But no, that cleric, I agree with you 100%. Number 1 on our list. And sadly, though, we are running out of time. Even though it felt like we just started.
I know. Me too.
We just really like talking about clerics.
I mean, we can talk about clerics some more.
No, we gotta cut this.
Welcome to the Cleric Cast, everybody.
So yeah, let's that was our 13 classes ranked. Thank you for listening to a Talk of Opportunity. Thank you for following us and being a loyal subscriber. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. We play every Wednesday, or almost every Wednesday. Right now, we are going through Cursed Strahd, DM by Andrew, and it's been pretty killer.
That's all right.
No, it's been fantastic. We also do short games every now and then, and our group is pretty fun, so make sure to tag along with us. And anything else you want to say, Andrew?
I'm sorry, I was reading up on clerics. What were we talking about?
Well, I know what your reading material is going to be for tonight. You just have like that meme of Wolverine. It's holding a picture.
Just the artwork of the cleric.
That's you every night. Yes.
No, I really don't have anything further to
add. All right, great. Maybe next time you won't forget your beer.
You know.
Right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and you'll have a wonderful rest of your week. And we'll see you live on Twitch. Bye.
Bye.